Hi guys, welcome to my channel Cooking Diaries. Today is a special one. This is going to be 50th episode on Cooking Diaries. So to celebrate this occasion, today I'm going to show you how to make Hyderabadi chicken dum biryani. To make the process easy, I'm going to show this in 3 steps. First step is marination of meat. Second step is preparing our rice. Third step is actually assembling our rice and meat together to make the biryani. So let's get started. First we are going to look at all the ingredients we would need for our marination of chicken. So here I have 2 whole birds that are cut into pieces. Now the biryani pieces are a little bit bigger than the curry pieces. So this is over 4.5 pounds. So roughly 2.5 kg, and 2 big onions. We would need a cup of oil and a cup of ghee. We would fry our onions and use the same oil for our marination. We probably won't use all of it, but this is what we would start with. We would need half a cup of yogurt, a bunch of coriander leaves, a bunch of cilantro leaves. Here I have about 20 green chilies, 1 lemon. You could increase the amount of green chilies if you want it more spicier. Here I have a teaspoon of red chili powder. Again, you could increase this if you want. 3 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. Here I have 15 cardamom pods, 15 cloves, and a big cinnamon stick. Here I have a teaspoon and a half of shazira and 1 maize flour. This is about half a teaspoon of biryani masala powder. For our first step, I am going to slice my onions. Now let's go ahead and fry these onions in the mixture of oil and ghee. You can buy fried onions from the store, but if you really want to get the best taste out of your biryani, I highly recommend frying your own onions at home like this. Our nice and crispy fried onion are ready. So next we are going to make a paste out of coriander, mint, green chili, and we'll use lemon juice to help to get it mixed. So I'm just going to put all of this into a blender. I already washed them clean. Alright guys, now we have everything ready to marinate our meat, so let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to add all of my ginger garlic paste, that is 2 tablespoons. This is 1 maize flour. I'm going to crush it with my fingers and add. This is 1.5 teaspoon of shazira, cloves and cardamom. This 1 cinnamon stick, I'm just going to break it into small pieces. Add biryani masala powder, 3 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, half a cup of yogurt. This is the paste we made from green chilies, coriander leaves and mint leaves. We're going to add all of this here. We're also going to add about 3/4 of the fried onion. I'm going to keep some aside that we will use for garnish. Now we have to mix all of this into the meat. This is the oil in which we actually fried our onions. So I'm going to add about 3/4 cup of oil to this chicken mixture. And again, give it a mix. Alright, our marination process is almost done guys. Now we have to let the chicken marinate for about 3 to 4 hours. Even better if you could marinate this entire night, but at least 3 to 4 hours we should marinate this. Now we will move on to our next step of preparing and cooking our rice. Now let's talk about rice. We would need a good quality of basmati rice. The grain should be really long and there should be a fragrance to it. If your basmati rice is good, your biryani will come out good. Here I have 20 cloves and about 25 cardamom pods, 2 star anise, a small piece of nutmeg, and a small maize flour again. Here I have about 4 bay leaves, 2 teaspoons of shazira, and some salt. First we are going to wash our rice couple times to get rid of all the dirt, and our rice is clean. Once the rice is washed clean, soak it in tap cold water. Now the rice has to be soaked for at least 1 to 2 hours. Our chicken is getting marinated nice and our rice is also getting soaked in the cold water. So we have a couple hours here. So relax, enjoy your coffee, and meanwhile try to check out my Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. Look at my other videos and see what you like. Now to cook our rice, I have a big pot here with water on high heat. I also have this tea strainer to say, in which you basically put tea leaves and boil to make tea. So I'm going to add my garam masala to this. So this basically gives us the flavor of garam masala into the water and rice, but by removing this we don't have to eat any of these masalas in the rice. So I'm going to drop this in the water, and I'm also going to drop my bay leaves and shazira, and I'm also going to put my salt. Now for the amount of salt, you basically want to taste the water as salty, something like ocean water. If the water is salted enough, then that flavor would get into the rice, then it would give you a nice biryani rice. But if you under salt the water, then your biryani would not be as tasty as it should be. So basically mix this and give it a taste, and if you feel the water is salty, then it's good. Now we need to let this come to the boil, then we will add our rice to get it cooked. And once you see that the water has come to a rolling boil, drain all the water in which rice is being soaked and add it to the boiling water. At this point you don't want to leave the side of the stove, you want to stay near to the stove because the rice will get cooked really fast, and within a matter of minutes it can be overcooked. So you want to stay close to the stove right now. One of my friends actually gifted me this biryani handi recently, guys, so I'm going to use this to make biryani today. These days a non-stick biryani handis are also available online. Even if you don't have a pot like this, you could use any pot that is wide, like a Dutch oven or something that has a wide mouth. I'm going to arrange all of the chicken pieces in the base of this handi in one single layer. We don't want to stack meat on top of each other. We want to have it spread across the bottom of the pan in like one layer. And I'm going to let it sit aside until our rice is done. And once you start to see that the rice is boiling, I will take the bay leaves out, and I will also take the pot out in which we have all the garam masalas. We are going to discard all of that. You guys see that how beautifully rice is getting cooked? We need to cook this until the rice is like 70% done, and then drain out all the water immediately. It is at that stage, so I'm going to turn the heat off and drain this. Now to the last phase of assembling everything together and making our biryani. We would need 2 tablespoons of cream with a pinch of saffron in it, and the leftover fried onions, the oil in which we fried our onions, and juice from half of a lemon, our meat marination, and the partially cooked rice. So I'm going to add my rice on top of the meat now. Once the rice is added on top of chicken, mix the saffron and cream and add it on top. This gives nice color and nice aroma. And then go ahead and add your juice from half of a lemon. And then pour probably like 1/4 cup of the oil that we saved. So if you look at this, we started with 1 cup of oil and 1 cup of ghee. Now we left with this 1 cup of liquid at the end. So in total we have used like 1/2 cup of oil and 1/2 cup of ghee. Now add the leftover fried onion on top. And what I have here is some chapati dough, just regular flour and some water. I'm just going to make it into a thin strip like that. Now we're going to arrange it at the end of it like this. Press it down. Now we're basically trying to create a seal here. If you have a pot whose lid kind of fits in without letting any steam escape, then that should be fine. But traditionally this is how it is made. We made the dough and put our lid on top and press it. That's how we are going to seal this. Now we are going to cook this on high heat for about 5 minutes. Then we are going to reduce the heat to low, then cook it for another 10 minutes. Then we will do a trick at 15-minute mark so that our biryani doesn't get burnt and come out really nice. Alright guys, it's been 5 minutes now. I'm going to reduce the flame to medium low and let it cook for another 10 minutes. So it's been about 10 minutes guys that I have been cooking the biryani on medium to low flame. So if you have an old pan or tawa like this, then you could simply place that on the flame and then place your pot in which you're cooking your biryani on top of it. Now by doing this, the biryani is not getting the direct heat or flame. So what this does is the chicken meat would rather get cooked really nice slowly from the heat that comes to that pan or the tawa that is underneath. Now we need to let this cook at this medium to low flame with tawa for about half an hour. Then our biryani would be done cooking. Now after half an hour of cooking, we will switch the flame off and we will not open it right now. We will let it sit like this for another 15 to 20 minutes. Alright guys, it has been half an hour since I turned the stove off. Now let's try to open this and see. Slowly try to take this dough out. Now look at this rice, how beautiful it looks. Each and every grain separates and it's not sticking together. It's so nice. Now let me try to get the piece. See that beautiful nice chicken piece? The meat is cooked perfectly. The rice is cooked perfectly. It smells incredible. This is how biryani should be made. If you guys like this recipe, give me a thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button so that I will see you in another video. Until then, bye.